Oh, good evening. Welcome to a welcome to the rich tapestry that is the Four Valley Boys. I got a couple of guys with me. I got Ryan Bigstraw who's married now. Showing the ring, Ryan. Showing the ring.
Yeah, I'm married now.
So he's legally grown now. He's legally grown. He's legally grown. And then we got somebody that playing some CNN in the background. Michael Andre. What the deal is, Michael?
Practice. I've watched Coach Walls prepare his team already this season. They are talented.
Atwater, where you at, baby? Where you at, Atwater?
So I'm on here now. What's up?
What up?
Of course, I gotta do a little housekeeping right quick. Of course, our show is Sundays and Wednesdays during football season. Since they're Sunday night games, we do not want to interrupt your Sunday experience of watching football. So just remember, we looking out
Don't go
for
in
you.
that door. No, Jason right there. Stop. My bad. I'm watching Friday the 13th, part 2. Sorry.
For those that know, Michael Atwater is still. It's still crazy as hell. So
I'm watching Friday the 13th. Why they ain't never had no black folks at Crystal Lake?
because they remind him of late Linnell. Duh.
Oh, okay.
Crazy straws. Straw, tell me about your sponsor.
Man, crazy straws. If you want a straw, you want it crazy. We got all bendable kinds. We got them in loops and dupes. We got them in everything. We NFL season. We got all your team colors. Georgia Bulldog colors. I'm just saying, we got them all. So when you want your straws, you want them crazy, hit crazy straws.
You heard it here. If you crazy and you want a straw, get a crazy straw. If you don't get a crazy straw, then fuck you.
Hey, my cousin, he crazy. He had one since 19. He done had them. He had the prototype.
And you know what's sad about me being crazy? Everywhere I go, people gonna say the same thing. There ain't too many people that gonna say anything indifferent. I don't matter if you're in LaGrange, Fort Valley, Rome, the Moon. They gonna all say the same thing. That's sad. That is so sad.
It's a lotto.
I blame Faye. I blame
Me?
Ryan, Damon. I blame y'all.
No, you were like that when I met you. So
yeah, you've been like that since the womb. I got the picture of us on the couch when we was at least 2 years old. We were probably 1, and you look crazy then.
Okay, you drink. Hey, I'm like Hakeem on Coming to America. Okay, Ryan, you spilling your beverages. Okay. Hey man, did you bring us any souvenir back, Ryan?
I didn't. You know what? The only
okay?
Thing
Never mind. Go on, Faye.
The only thing. Hold up. Where that? Where is it at? The only thing that I brought back with me was it. What you call me, Mike? What you call me? What would you call me?
Ryan Mysterio Jr.
Ryan Mysterio. This good old NFL luchador mask. I've been looking for one for a minute. Went to Cozumel, and they had all kind of stuff, bro. So I had to pick that up. So.
Yeah. Let me get the rest of the sponsors. We got a lot of show to get into. Just for me, if you want to get that gray out your beard or your hair, Ryan has one of the most immaculate goatees in television history. He said, "I'm not going to be James Brown. Y'all going to spray me with all that black, that Beijing on me."
Nope. I'm not going to do the Beijing black. Nope.
So go to your Walmart, go over to buy the pharmacy and the hair care and get your stuff straight. All right. That's Wave grew. Michael Atwater had waves since 1994. Michael Atwater's ball in 2024. He still has waves. Show your waves, Mike. Show your waves. So you want waves like Mike? That's Wave Group. Red can get it from the Beauty Supply store for $2.98. Arizona Tea. Damon, one of Damon's sponsors. You drink it. The can's 89 cents in Florida. I don't know if you want me in Florida right now.
No.
Florida. First of all, safe travels and prayers for those that have to evacuate.
Yes,
I was stuck in Florida.
that Milton boy make it so funny. It's not funny, but me and Michael call him Uncle Milton because he coming. He coming.
Yeah, we got an Uncle Milton. That's right.
So Arizona T, drink the tall can. Believe it or not, set a clock to it. 35 minutes, you have diabetes.
Like Wilford Brendan.
You have diabetes. All right. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. BuyANiceShirt.com. You already know Bernard England. He'll be at homecoming this weekend. Fort Valley homecoming this weekend if you didn't know.
So is Alabama A&M this weekend. Don't forget. Georgia, Alabama. It's all over, baby. HBCU pride, baby.
Yes, sir. Fort Valley Fade, you coming to homecoming?
Not this year.
Wow. What kind of friend is this, man?
I had booked a gig like 10 months in advance. Their football schedule hadn't came out. If I had football schedule, I would have made some adjustments.
I got you.
You gotta make the money. Don't let the money make you.
That's
Again,
straight off Player Club. Way to go.
Mm-hmm. Damien's podcast, Chopping It Up. He has a Patreon page. Patreon, Damien. All right. And of course, our favorite sponsor, Ryan, had this on vacation. I don't know if he had the Le Portier. But if you had that with a Portier, you'd be like, my shit.
be up there, let me drive. I'll take us home. I'll take us home.
This dude's so stupid, man.
Sit down, Captain. I'm the captain now. I'll take us home.
For those that want to know, no, Ryan did not go live on Instagram on his honeymoon. Okay, so don't ask us for anything.
Nope, let's do a Shannon Sharp. One gonna do it, one's not gonna do it.
Good job, Ryan. Good job, cuz.
That mama shit.
So,
and of course, Henny and Coke, Crown Royal XO, ginger ale.
The dog liquors.
Remember, light makes you fight, brown keeps you down. All right. I'm gonna start with college football because we got a lot. There's a lot of stuff I want to get to in NFL. We had a bunch of upsets this weekend in college football. USC, Alabama, Missouri. Anybody missing, Mike? Michigan.
Michigan
lost. Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
That's my Michigan. That's my Michigan. All right. I'm gonna start with Big Straw, and then of course Miami was down by 25. Cal did the Falcons. Didn't want to mention. Didn't want to
It was up 35-10 on Miami.
Just want to bring that up.
I turned the game off. I was so mad because in our pick'em, I had Miami, and I just knew. One thing that Atwater will tell you with this new Big Ten, it's hard going across the country. You going from all the way from Florida, going all the way to outside of California.
It's the same thing. It's the ACC.
I know, but still, I'm just saying, you going from one coast to the other, the 2,000 some odd miles, if not 3. Man, and I thought they was jet lagged from jump. I ain't gonna tell no story. And man, when they came on through, I didn't find out until the picks came out. I was 3-4. I just knew I was 2-5.
I think a lot of people had bad weekend for college football. I know everybody in our group, we took a loss on Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Alabama wasn't even one of the games though.
No, I thought it would.
If we would have picked them, we would have lost. Ain't no way in the world. Now I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is, but this ain't your mama Vandy. This ain't your daddy Vandy. This ain't last year Vandy.
Is this a one-off, or this just some things to come with the NIL and the transfer portal, Mike?
Oh, that's a good question, Fade. Damn. I mean, you got to think about something with Vanderbilt. Nobody is kicking down the door for NIL and recruits to go to Vanderbilt. So that's the first thing. So
academic school for one thing. Academic school.
Yeah. Vanderbilt is an academic school. There's a bunch of engineers and computer geeks up there. So the thing about Vanderbilt winning this game the coach has changed the culture up there. Like, really, to be honest, two things about this Vanderbilt Alabama game. Well, three things. Let me say this. Number one, I can't remember a bigger upset in college football. The last upset like this, I would have to say, is like App State beating
Take Michigan. Yeah.
I forgot how many years ago that was, but that's the last upset this big. Second thing, Kirby Smart lost to Vanderbilt in his first year. Nick Saban lost to University of Louisiana Monroe in his first year. So games like this with coaches in their first year, sometimes this happens. And then point number three, when it comes to Vanderbilt, if you've been following them, this has been kind of brewing this season. They beat Virginia Tech. They almost beat Missouri in overtime. So this was coming sooner or later. I just didn't think it was Alabama. But NIL and transfer portal recruiting ain't that big at Vanderbilt because it's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is in the same boat like a Georgia Tech, Stanford, those schools. They're not getting transferred, kicking down the door, going to them schools because of the high academic standards. So
I disagree with you, cuz. I disagree with you. I disagree with you because you got to remember that these transfers, they going because a lot of them are graduates. They go and they want to help a program. That may be that last guy that wants to just transfer, still got eligibility left, and just want to help a team. He done played at a school for 3-4 years and just transfer, want to get some kind of other degree, and he just happened to be one of the good. He ain't the upper echelon, but he might be middle tier, and just want to do it. And that's all right with me. That's all right with me.
Let me just say this about that transfer. They got transfers in certain positions, but they don't have a whole lot of transfer. A lot of them guys for Vanderbilt that's up there playing, those guys been there 2-3 years.
Yeah,
so they're doing this with veteran play and with recruiting their guys, their kind of guys.
Well, I mean, that goes back to some of the transfer portal. They doing it like they used to do in college basketball, like a Butler or some of those schools that them guys stay 3-4 years and they just mesh. So now here's another question: where do they go from here?
Well, that's what I'm curious to see this weekend. What they do against Kentucky? They go on the road against Kentucky. Fade, pull up the rest of their schedule. Let's see if they can make a bowl.
You talking about Vanderbilt?
Interesting.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Let me see. College football. Give me a quick second.
So here's the other question: did they let out everything? Did they let all the air out the balloon against Alabama, or do they have enough? I just, is this the apex? Are they going down from here? I really think that this Vanderbilt team, based on what you said, and I've watched them play, I saw them play Missouri, I saw them play Virginia Tech, and everybody's been surprised. They keep on SEC shorts. Hope going to be right there with them. Hope is going to be right there with them.
Yep.
Here we go. I'm pulling up Vanderbilt's schedule now. They play Kentucky. They have a bye. No, they don't have a bye. They play Kentucky this weekend.
That's a winnable game.
They play Ball State.
That's what they'll win.
Texas. That's a loss.
That's a loss.
Auburn.
So right there. What does that put them at right there?
If they win these two games,
that's 5
Texas, they 5-3.
Auburn, South Carolina. They'll be Auburn.
They could beat Auburn. South Carolina is not terrible.
They have moments. They could have beat LSU. They went to bed on that one.
And Vandy could easily go 6-6.
Yeah, because they got LSU and Tennessee to close out.
They could easily go 6-6.
Tennessee's a rivalry game, and if they play as well as they've been playing, they can go either way.
And here's one thing to add on to Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia leads the team in passing and rushing.
Mm.
I don't think so. I was only hanging out with Becky to help with Stewie.
Their tight end, Eli Stowers, 333 yards receiving off 25 receptions and 1 touchdown. So he's only thrown 8 touchdowns this year. He's rushed for 2. So Vandy wants to run. They want to run that option. So let me change the flow of the pictures. So Vanderbilt has a chance to go 6-6, 7-5 if you really want to push it. I can see them going 7-5, but 6-6 is more realistic. Going back to what Mike was saying about Vanderbilt being academic schools, probably the Harvard of the South. The coach of Vanderbilt got the academic criteria lowered to get some players in there because think about it, Vanderbilt is, if a lot of kids don't know this is counsel. I'm gonna give a quick counselor's corner as far as what colleges are looking for as far as academics, athletes, or just gen ed students that's not athletic, anything like that. They do line by line enrollment. They look at every class you take. They're gonna look at your algebra, your social studies, science, your electives, and that type of stuff. They're gonna look and see if you took any AP or honors classes versus your gen ed class, like your regular math, regular algebra 1, whatnot. If you have a 3.7 GPA, but you took all regular classes,
You're not going to Vanderbilt.
You're not going to Vanderbilt. Now, if you take it AP calculus, AP history, honors geometry, that type of stuff, and you have a 3.2, 3.3 GPA in that, especially with the AP courses, and you pass the AP test with a 3 or 4, those you could get college credit for that. And they're looking at like, okay, we're gonna take this student because the rigor he took in these classes is harder. So, like I said, I'm getting off the counselor's corner for right now, but let's think about that for Vanderbilt. These kids are taking these kids are taking honors classes since 8th grade. In some cases, it might be 7th grade, taking algebra 1. So these kids are academically eligible off the rip. So unless your GPA is a 4.0 since 8th grade or something like that, and we're not saying it's not possible, but you're probably getting, if you got a 3.7 take a gen ed class and you play sports, you're gonna get in. It's just the regular students that's getting a little bit of the lower end of getting in because of the GPA, because they want more rigorous students. They'll probably take you at Georgia, definitely take you at Fort Valley. Albany State would definitely love to have you, but you might get flooded out down there. But you know, that's how academic advisors in college look at. They go, especially D1 schools, they go line by line enrollment of your classes you take. All right, that's enough of the council corner. We touched on the U. A great win by them, going all the way 2,800 miles. Marshawn Lynch was on game day. That was a treat to watch him. that was pretty cool to watch him going back to Cal.
Okay, if you say so.
What? It was cool.
I thought that he did a decent job. I just thought it was more nonchalant. He didn't have a lot of commentary. Most of the guest pickers, they have a lot of commentary, and they'll give a little bit of an analysis. But he was like, "Oh yeah, I take them. That's who I got." Now the funny thing was putting the people in the headlock and stuff that was funny.
Now keep in mind, they was in California. He might have been nonchalant for a reason that we're not going to discuss on the airwaves. Yeah. He might have did a mad dog. Might have did mad dog.
Yeah,
not the beer, not the beer mad dog.
Not the beer, right.
Not the beer.
Do they eat? I hear you.
So he probably pop a couple. What I do? 12 o'clock.
It's cool.
I cut my gummy in half. I cut it in half. Maybe a cocktail. Eat half the gummy. Drink my first cocktail. Take Bo on a walk. We'll come back 3 o'clock. I'm sauced. At 3:30, I call my bookie Fat Rob. I call Fat Rob. Gives me another cocktail, eat the other half of the gummy. I'm sauced for the rest of the day. I'm betting 10,000. I will watch that clip again just for watch it, because with Swagger looking at that, he like. Keep in mind, New York is a legal state, so New York have beat Connecticut because he lives in Connecticut. So unless he got it from New York and Brady, Connecticut, and then you get into traveling because you go across state lines. So Connecticut has to be legal. Anyway, that's neither there. We get lost in the sauce. Not Mad Dogs sauce. Right. This is for you. This is for Mike right here. Is Georgia being complacent? Because they kind of play with they play with their food with Auburn. They play with their food with Auburn this weekend. To be honest with you.
I got two things when it comes to this with Georgia. The first thing when it comes to Georgia, and I hope this ain't the case, but let's just use Ryan for an example. Ryan just went on vacation. He was on honeymoon, or he went on a vacation. And when you go on vacation, you have a good time. You have a ball.
You hit a time.
You don't want it to last. But then when that vacation,
you want it to go a long time.
You don't want to end.
But when you come home,
but he came though. He did come.
But when you come home,
Mike, he did come though. Mike, he did come. He did come.
No, yeah, I know he came. Plenty of time. I know that. But anyway, when you go on vacation, you have fun, you have a blast. You ain't thinking about this. You having a good time on vacation. Then when that vacation over, it's like, oh man, I got to get back and pay these bills, get back to work, get the kids in now. I hope that's not the case with Georgia. Meaning, I hope that our vacation is not over with us winning these championships, and we get back to regular life before we won championships. That's the first thing. I hope our vacation is still going on. I hope we still able to win championships and not go back to 8-4 and playing in the Citrus Bowl or going to the Outback Bowl.
Liberty Bowl.
Liberty Bowl. I hope we don't go back to those days. Secondly, Kirby was upset this past week because the crowd wasn't really into it. I think the crowd wasn't into it for one, Kirby, because it was homecoming. But then number two, we are, as Georgia fans now, we're not used to losing. We're used to Georgia beating everybody by 30, 40. And I think we done got complacent. And we just got to realize that this Georgia team ain't that 2021 team. There ain't no Jordan Davis there. Ain't no Nakobe Dean. None of them guys are there. And that's something that we got to realize as Georgia fans. We don't know how this season going to end. Georgia could potentially lose 3 more games. Ole Miss, Texas, and Tennessee. Now, I don't think they will, but Georgia could lose 3 more games. I just hope as a Georgia fan that we're not complacent. We're not in that
vacation mode.
Or we're not in that vacation mode. I want to stay on that vacation mode with Georgia. I want to be able, if we don't win a national championship every year, I don't want to go back to that conversation where Florida has passed us and Tennessee and South Carolina. Me and Ryan have been Georgia fans since birth. So we know the history. We know what we done been through. We know what we were going through 2012 when Georgia 5 yards short from going to the national championship game and blowing Notre Dame out. Or in 2018 when in overtime Georgia had Alabama and Tua comes in and throw a touchdown pass. I just don't want us to come off that vacation. Like I said, when you come off a vacation a lot of time, your mind goes back to work mode, bills, the kids, the house. I don't want that for Georgia. I just think right now we are spoiled, selfish Georgia fans. Most of us, I ain't gonna say everybody, we're spoiled and selfish because of what Georgia has done over these last 4 years. So we just got to get out our own way and realize Georgia's not going to win the championship every year. As many championships as Alabama's won, they ain't won that shit every year. In Nick Saban's 15 years, they won, what, 6?
6.
And they played probably in, what, 9 or 10? So if we in this category of being the upper echelon or elite program, we got to realize, man, that we're not going to win it every year. We're not.
I think the voice has changed. I think the voice, even though the voice has changed and it's just a different voice. It's a harsher voice, but it's also one of them voices that will drive you if you let it. Kirby came in. Kirby ain't Mark Richt by any stretch of the imagination. By any stretch of the imagination. And if you really want anything close to a Saban clone, I think it's probably gonna be Kirby.
But let's just talk about this from a recruiting standpoint, from a player standpoint. If you want to be honest, man, Georgia during the Mark Richt era, they still were having top 5, top 10 recruiting class.
But the
I
boys,
remember one year Georgia had the #1 class when they had Isaiah Crowell and them kind of guys. You know, recruited AJ Green, Matthew Stafford. So Georgia done always recruited well. They just couldn't get over the hump.
I just
Now
think
they
the voice.
getting over the hump.
I think the voice. I remember listening the last championship Georgia won. If you listen to the pregame speech that Kirby Smart gave, that's not no pregame speech, Mark. Nowhere close to a pregame speech that Mark Richt would get. And yeah, it was TCU. Yeah, it was. But still, he fires them up different than Mark Richt ever did.
Man, Ryan, have you ever heard Kirby Smart halftime speech against Florida about 3-4 years ago? Bruh, go listen to it. Go to YouTube and listen to the Kirby Smart halftime speech against Florida. Man, that dude will make you run through a brick wall, man.
No, he gonna cuss you too. He ain't gonna hold, but he don't hold back. That's the thing. Mark Richt, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a man of God. He's a man of God and doesn't use all that profane language. He fired his team up in different ways when they used to go and dive off the diving board and everything backwards and all that stuff. But this is a different message. This is a way different message. He gonna get in there and he is gonna light a fire under your behind, and like you said, have you run through a brick wall and be on the other side ready to tell you that you did a great job. Now, if you did a poor job and you only knocked that wall down halfway, he gonna tell you that you were wrong. You should have did it, but he also gonna pick you up and be like, "Well, this is what you need to do this time. Don't let it happen again." Now, that speech need to go for some of these guys in this driving, but still, the fact of the matter remains, he's just a different dude. He's a different dude, and I love having him in Georgia. But one of our former coaches, when he's a big Georgia fan, Coach Wheelis reached out to him when Kirby got hired, and at the time, we didn't know what we were getting. We just knew he was a Saban assistant. We just knew that it was different, and it wasn't Mark Richt. And I swear, 2 years we was in the championship game against Alabama, and then we won 2 back-to-back. So yeah, it's a huge thing.
All right, let's get to some picks right quick. We got our group chat. I just want to get a quick takeaway from you guys for the big key to the games for these 5 games. Mike put in on our rundown. We want to give our flowers to Mike for creating the rundown for the last 2 years. So we appreciate you, Mike, for doing that. Ohio State and Oregon, probably the game of the week, which possibly might be the game of the year. I don't know if it's going to compare to Alabama and Georgia. Alabama Georgia shouldn't have been the game of the year, but that's something under Kalen DeBoer, who lets his foot off the gas and teams come back on him. So that's something that he needs to clean up quickly. Because if you go undefeated for the rest of the year, you still got to face Georgia again, more than likely in the SEC championship game. If you lose that game, ain't no telling where you're going to be at in the top 12. But
are they a playoff team right now? Alabama play.
To me, let me pull their schedule up. I said at the beginning of the year, I said they'll lose 3 games. I think I said they'll lose 3 games this year on the calendar board because it's a transition year.
Mm-hmm.
And after the loss to Vanderbilt, I think they could lose 3 to 4 more games. I could think lose 3 more games. Because the rest, they got South Carolina. South Carolina's not going to be easy out, even though that's in Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, Mercer, Oklahoma, and Auburn. And always, it's an Iron Bowl. Ain't no telling what's going to happen in the game. Now, you'll probably beat them in Alabama, but you always have problems with them in Auburn. South Carolina, I can see them struggle with South Carolina, even though they got the quarterback back from injury. Tennessee, they'll lose to Tennessee. Missouri, between Tennessee, Missouri, and LSU, they'll lose 2 of those 3 games.
So then I said,
They'll have 3 losses.
I think they'll
And
have 3. I can see 2 more losses. I can see it, but I just don't know. I think Auburn probably might be. Well, I don't know. That's topsy turvy. I could see them possibly losing to Auburn. I could possibly see them losing to Tennessee. But like you said, this ain't no LSU. Ain't no cakewalk. This is not this. I mean, and that's the thing about the SEC. They cannibalize each other. So it's possible. Is it anything? It's possible. Hell, we would have thought the impossible has already happened. The impossible has really already happened when Vanderbilt did it.
yeah, Fred, he's giving his picks for Ohio State and Oregon. So you already know who Fred is going with if you know Mock. If you know Mock, you know he's going with home team. 38-13.
Who the home team?
Ohio State. You're going to Ohio State.
Mm.
But you're going to Oregon. You're flying 2,200 miles to Eugene, Oregon. I think the way Ohio State is playing with Jeremiah Smith, that is if they're a picture of a grown man, that's a picture of a grown man as a freshman receiver. Ohio State is now the new wide receiver. Used to be Miami. I would think Miami and maybe old Florida State was wide receiver U. Ohio State is the new wide receiver U. Brian Hartline is the receivers coach. Penn State, USC. I still don't trust Penn State. I've been saying it for years. I do not trust James Franklin. I trust Albany State and the Hurricane more than I trust Penn State, and that's saying a lot. And I hate Albany State. What's the key to that game, Mike?
Penn State and USC.
Yeah.
If Miller Moss can get going, quarterback for USC, if he can get going, Penn State. I'm kind of with you on James Franklin. You just can't. He don't never seem to win the big game, and this is an upset type game for Penn State. I think I'm gonna go with USC in this game. If you notice, a lot of teams, Miami just luckily went up and won. But if you notice, a lot of these cross-country conference games, teams ain't doing well that's going on the road. They ain't.
Think about it, these are college students. These are college students who got to balance or have a school practice balance that's kind of irregular, and you offer your traditional schedule.
Because if you Penn State going to play USC, when you leaving tonight, tomorrow?
The smart thing will be leaving Thursday, so you get over the jet lag on Friday.
I mean, this is something that is a big difference. Oh, real quick, shout out to the Pac-12. They'll be back in 2 years. They picked up 5 teams from the Mountain West Conference. They're trying to add another team. So Pac-12 football will be back in 2026. I don't know if y'all know that or not. But they got Boise State, Fresno State, Colorado, Utah State.
So Colorado coming back to the Pac-12.
Colorado State.
Colorado State, that's a waste of money, but go ahead.
And I think Nevada, UNLV, somebody. They picked up like 5-6 teams from the Mountain West Conference. So they're trying to add one more team so they can be certified because you need 18. So the Pac-12 will be back in 2026. They already got Washington State and Oregon State, so they'll be back in 2 years.
I wouldn't be surprised to try to get Wyoming, to be honest with you. Wyoming would make a little bit more sense.
Well, see what happened, 6 of the teams in that conference stayed in the Mountain West. So Mountain West now looking to add 1 or 2 teams. They added UTEP, and they're trying to add another team here and there. But, yeah, shout out to Pac-12 for not throwing in the towel.
Fred said for Penn State, Penn State can't pressure USC. USC can win. Straw, Ole Miss and LSU. Harold Perkins out for the year with a torn ACL.
Yeah, that's their defense. That is their defense. So give me Ole Miss. Ole Miss losing when they did, and they weren't supposed to, but they still that team. Jackson Dart, he can still play some really good football, man, and they do a really good job under him. I just think that this is what they do, but I think that they'll be better than they've been. I think they'll be better than they've been. They They're that team, in my opinion, that's right under Alabama, LSU, and Georgia. They right there. They on the ceiling trying to push up. Lift it up, and they still trying. So I got them this week. And then they got they have to get a little bit of revenge back from last year from the Jaden Daniels show. So give me Ole Miss on that one.
Today I'm going to teach you how to navigate.
All right, Mike, Texas, Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry.
SEC version.
Yeah, this still don't seem real, man. I'm talking SEC. I don't trust that freshman kid at quarterback for Oklahoma in this environment. I like Texas big.
Hey, bro, this is gonna be a sneaky good game. It's a 10-15. This is prime time right here. Colorado
Ryan, you on the clock?
Colorado who?
and Kansas State. Kansas State is ranked like top 20, I believe.
Yeah, they number 18.
I like Kansas State. I like their quarterback, man. I really do. I'm really pulling. And week after week after week, Travis Hunter is showing you why he is him, though. He's the best player, in my opinion, in college football. And that's simply because he plays well on both sides of the football. Shedeur Sanders can make all the throws. I think Pat Shermer, if he come up with a decent game plan, I got Colorado by 3 in this one. I could see it going the other way, but I think that Coach Prime up there in Colorado, I think he's still looking for some redemption and still trying to show these folks who he is at Colorado. So I'm going to take Colorado.
I'm flipping to Ryan. I'm going Kansas State.
I think if Deion wins 6 games this year is a victory, but then the real work happens after the season. You're gonna have to recruit you another starting quarterback because I don't know if Star is gonna be your guy going forward. But that's our college football segment. This is our college football segment brought to you by NIL. We want some of the money too. NFL review. I think we just came off of the 5th week of the season. Mike, I'm gonna put up your top 10 teams from last week. Right here, it's flashing on the screen right there. Is your top 10 teams right here. You Kansas City, Minnesota. I believe they're still staying the same, right?
Yeah, Kansas City, Minnesota, they both undefeated. Detroit, I think 3-1. Baltimore,
3-2.
Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. You might can take them out of the top 10 now.
Okay. And move
But
Washington up top.
I don't know. Kansas City is simply number 1 because they the defending champs.
And they undefeated.
Until you beat them, they still number 1.
All right. Let me get to the question of the day. As you all know, Robert Saleh got fired on his day off. Reports have it that Robert Saleh was going to take away play calling duties from Nathaniel Hackett on Monday when he watched the film. He told Woody Johnson that what his plans were. Of course, for some reason, I just don't get why you want to tell the owner what your plans are. The owner should let you run the team, but that's neither here nor there. The Jets will be jetting. I guess Woody Johnson called Aaron Rodgers that night. Next thing you know, Tuesday morning at 10:08 a.m., while they were talking about Kansas City's win over New Orleans, they talked about Robert Saleh for the next hour and 52 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I'm a guy that looks at firing coaches when they ain't supposed to do what they're supposed to do. This is an instance I'll at least wait to the end of the year. Or you should have fired him in the offseason last year.
I really think they thought more. I think they thought they would get more than they've gotten out of the team with Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers. But one of the things I said earlier this week in the group with me and Mikey and one of the groups we in, man, this is his farewell tour, isn't it?
Feels like it.
I mean, this is one of the things where I think you might have put too much on the old man's shoulders. He already coming off of ACL last year, not an ACL, an Achilles last year. And you thinking he gonna bring them back. They've looked good under him, but they ain't won one. You got to win. If they win more than what they won, I think they won one game?
They 2-3. The Jets
2
are
and 3. 2 and 3. I'm with you, Fave. You got to wait. You 2 and 3. You almost you in the first quarter of the season, and you do this. Now that's almost like you just throwing up the towel already. Like, hey, well, I got a scapegoat. Wait until next year already. You ain't in but in week 5, week 6.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of like somebody staying down there in hurricane way, knowing the hurricane coming. You watching it come and you ain't doing nothing about it. And I think Woody Johnson saw something forming with the Jets, and he went on and got the heck out of town. And when you're the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, top 5 quarterback damn near all time, you got to be playing better than that. And if you don't fire this dude now, that he done lost the locker room. Everybody wasn't in favor of the dude. If you don't fire him now and try to gather your season, man, it's gonna be a long season. You're gonna lose out with Aaron Rodgers getting this player, that player. So you had to shake something up. I didn't think he was gonna get fired, but I can see why you fired him, because he don't fire that coach if Zach Wilson's still quarterback, because the expectation level ain't gonna be the same as it will be with an Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But I see Woody Johnson pretty much saw the hurricane coming, and he got the hell out of town. That's what he did.
If you're gonna fire him, you should have fired him after last season, even if Aaron Rodgers wasn't injured. The problem is Aaron Rodgers. That's your problem. He wanted to go to he wanted to have his way because the key in his mind now. Under 4 years under Matt LaFleur, 3 of those years you won 13 games. 3 of those years, you hear me now? 13 games. 13 games you won your first 3 years under Matt LaFleur. He didn't like that fact with the motion, and he thinks that he's so arrogant that he feels like I'm gonna overcome whatever. I don't need motion. I don't need any deception of the line. My IQ is better than you. Well, Brian Flores kind of showed you why he was a premier defensive coordinator with the Patriots and with the Dolphins. 3 picks, another pick 6. Minnesota's defense is top 5. We're just waiting for Sam Darnold to go on pumpkin watch. That's what we're waiting for right now. That's what I'm waiting for.
Now he dancing, boy. He dancing. Prince Charming. He dancing.
I wonder how Tua feels right now. I know this is low hanging fruit. I wonder how Tua feels now after coming out with what he said about Brian Flores. I wonder how he feels. He probably might not remember.
Feel too good.
Probably might not remember what he said.
He don't think he remember. What did I say?
Because I mean, think about it. I'm not a Tua fan. He's a little too small. He should have got Justin Herbert. But to be honest with you, in his own crazy way, I think Brian Flores was protecting Tua and try to build him up. But at the same time, Brian Flores, Tua didn't have the weapons, but you also got to put it in that same boat. Brian Flores didn't have no weapons either. But Brian Flores had first time the Dolphins had back-to-back winning seasons in 20 years when he was the coach. Folks don't realize that he's a over 500 winning coach in Miami.
We do it every night. Every night. I live alone.
Write that down. He was 18 and 14 as the coach of the Dolphins in those 2 years. Brian Flores should be a top 3 candidate for whatever job pops up. I wouldn't take the Jets. I would not take the Jets.
No, do not take the Jets.
You do not take the Jets. The only way you take the Jets is Rodgers is gone. That's the only way you take the Jets.
How many more years Rodgers got on that contract?
I think one more because he pushed all the money from his first year to the back of the contract next year, I think. So he pushed that on the back end. If they have a bad year, I think a new coach don't want to come in with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. And Hackett has to go. If Hackett's gone, Rodgers is probably going to be gone as well. And that leaves Rodgers to possibly retire. I don't see him going in West. You're not going to the Giants. It could work. It could work with the Giants. The problem is though, I mean, Daniel Jones money is going to come off the book as non-guaranteed the next 2 years after this season.
Yeah.
So they could cut Daniel Jones easily. But he's like that guy at work when he know he about to get fired. He finally do some work to keep a job for the year, so he won't be on the pill. That's Daniel Jones right now. But to be fair, Joel Shane should have never got rid of Saquon Barkley. You chose the quarterback over Saquon, and Saquon is the more valuable piece.
Hello to your next one.
You should have redshirted Daniel Jones. I mean, I redshirted franchise tagged him for the next 2 years, and then hope for the best.
Top dollar.
That's what you should have did. You also should have never let go of Geno Smith. Should have kept Geno Smith. So if you, Mike and Straw, if you're the Jets going forward, who are you looking for as the coach? I'm thinking Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, possibly. I think you need to go offense because defense is gonna be set. Defense is gonna be good.
What about Eric Bieniemy?
Eric,
He in Washington, ain't he?
no, he when Dan Quinn took over, he did not to bring back Eric Bieniemy. He's at UCLA.
Yep, he's
that's
assistant head coach at UCLA, right?
That's right. I'm tripping. Yeah, I would try Eric Bieniemy. I would if the coach of the Cowboys get let go, I would give him a shot. Man, I would try any of them guys.
If I'm a
I
Cardinal,
wouldn't go get no damn Bill Belichick. I wouldn't get him.
No, Bill Belichick coached the Jets for one day and left, so he knew what time it was.
Yep. Pete Carroll.
No, he already had it.
He done had 2 dips. He done had 2 dips in the NFL.
Yeah, you have to look at maybe Clint Kubiak was going to be if he would have kept the offense going. I think you could have did it, but I think Derek Carr is the Achilles heel of the Saints.
Well, we'll see if he really is this week because Spencer Rattler, according to he's supposed to start this week, so we're gonna see.
Yeah, but Ben Johnson is the most logical pick to me. Ben Johnson, Steve Wilkes would have been a better hire. Steve Wilkes got done dirty at Carolina and San Francisco. He was the blame for why San Francisco lost the Super Bowl. I'm trying to see how. You held the Chiefs to 16 points until overtime. So how is he the problem? Your offense didn't move the ball like it should have because you had George Kittle and Deebo Samuel only catching three balls combined, I believe, in the Super Bowl. I'll pull up the stats in a second, but I don't think they had no more than 4 catches combined. I want to move, but Jets, it sucks. Aaron Rodgers, this is your doing because you wanted to prove you could do what Peyton and Tom Brady did. You want to do something that Favre couldn't do. But 49ers, I think we all agree the 49ers just have too many injuries. This is like an opposite year for the 40. Every other year they go to the Super Bowl and don't make it. The next year they have a lot of injuries.
Yep.
And then in the year after that they'll be back in at least a conference championship game. I think that's par for the course. Am I fair to say that, Mike?
Yeah, you're right.
And the Bengals. I'm gonna say a hot take. I'm back to my coach firing Zach. What's the name? Zach. What's the coach name?
I know you're
Zach
talking
Taylor.
about
Zach Taylor. Your seat is on medium high.
He on 5.
He's on 5, not 8. He's on 5. He's on 5 because every year you've been the coach of the Bengals, you've had a slow start. This year you actually had Joe Burrow playing the preseason. He's there for preseason. He's healthy. Even though you lost Tyler Boyd to the Titans. Your seat is on medium high right now. Your seat is on medium high.
So would it have cooled down? It probably would have cooled down if they would have beat if they would have pulled out the game against the Ravens. But this might be that year. This might be the year. This is going to be the now. When we pick these games, when we picked the conference at the beginning of the year, we talked about the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't think the Steelers were going to be right there. We thought the Steelers were going to be at the bottom because we thought with Joe Burrow coming back to the Bengals that they were going to reassume they were going to be right there with the Ravens fighting it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the team that looks worse, I think, would probably be the Browns. But going back to the Bengals, I don't know. Are they going? Do you think they got a way of figuring this out?
I guess I really
No, because when you think about it,
have to trust what your
all the turmoil started in preseason when Jamar Chase didn't get his contract. Now he's balling, but the thing is though, that's a big distraction. Your defense sucks this year. Your same coordinator might have lost a piece or two, and you let Joe Mixon go.
with this lie.
You let Joe Mixon go. But the thing is though, you always start slow. You warm up. Right now, that slow start is not helping you right now. You got a quarterback throwing for 500 yards. He threw a pick. Then when you get the ball back off a fumble, you take the ball out of his hand, run it 3 times. You did not give yourselves a room for error on possibly the kicker
Ball drives to the hip.
missing the kick because the holder dropped the ball.
Guard
Ooh.
Mary.
If you a little bit, he dropped it.
Matt Griffin will go to
But
the line.
at the same time, that's part of operations that go back to special team coach. Y'all should go back to the head coach because he's over all the operations. If I'm Zach Taylor, my seat is a little warm right now. I think it's just a little bit warm because you didn't make the playoffs last year, didn't make the playoffs the first year. This year, you probably won't make the playoffs unless you go on some type of run. But I think you're on a hot seat right now. I'm gonna go to Jaden Daniels. Well, before we go to Jaden Daniels, I'm gonna go to the Eagles who are coming off their bye this week. Mike,
And Matt Griffin.
how hot is Nick Sirianni's seat right now? I know you don't like firing coaches, but there's something that's not right with this team.
My entire life. And now the
Let me return the question to y'all. Is it more Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts just not that guy?
I think it's Shane Steichen. Jalen Hurts trusted Shane Steichen.
I don't think it's Hurts. I don't think it's Hurts at all. They've lost. The game they lost to Atlanta, that was a 1-possession game. They lost late. Stupid mistakes at the end cost them that game. I really think that they can turn the Eagles are going to be there. I think the Eagles are going to be there at the end.
There's my dad.
I think about it, he had pretty, like I said, it goes back to Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator. Then you bring in Brian Johnson as a coordinator. Didn't work. You got Kellen Moore, who's not doing any. The main thing he's held over from Philadelphia is the tush push. There's not a lot of design runs, or not a lot of. Doesn't look like there's a lot of read option in his offense, and that's what made Jalen so dangerous.
I'm Felicia Leggett.
That's what made him dangerous. And we're not seeing that with this offense. That's the one thing I was thinking about. I heard during preseason. Is Kellen Moore going to adapt to Jalen Hurts' strengths? Now, get me wrong, the defense has not been great. The defense has been trash. And you had half of Georgia's defense the last couple of years on that team. And you got Vic Fangio, to me, is over at defensive coordinator because he showed that in Miami and Denver as a head coach. Van Joseph has been showing out. Van Joseph should get a second shot at being a head coach.
Doubling the child tax credit. One's trying to empty your pockets.
This go back to Nick. So to me, it's Nick Sirianni, but at the same time, Nick didn't hire these coordinators. So I think Howie Roseman played it where if he had to fire Nick Sirianni during the middle of the season, he has 2 experienced coordinators that could run the team. That's how he played that.
I agree with you, Faye. I agree with you. I just don't want to put nothing on that young man that's going out there and trying his hardest. The player, he's doing what he do. But if it's like being in the military. You follow your last good command.
And that good command is fuck you.
We live our lives on our home side.
So
we come and go. Our owners.
So right now, they just made the top five coaching candidates in no particular order. Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel. Folks forgot he's on Cleveland's staff as a consultant. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, the offensive coordinator from Houston, and I'll throw Airbnb in there. I'll throw him in there. I'll throw because he should still be a candidate, but I think the year in Washington kind of hurt him. But that's because they were bereft of talent. Ooh, big word. And the defense didn't help at all. Then you had Sam Howell as your quarterback. So
There it is. Right there.
It's fluid.
No, so I'll check it.
So coaching carousel is fluid. It's fluid. So we're looking at the Jets, who already have a vacancy. I'm gonna put the Giants on the list as a team that's gonna be probably firing the coach. The Bills to me are on the hot seat also.
Yeah, they ain't doing what they used to do. So yeah, I can see that. Then they always get to the end, and they'll get to the end, and
this year their cap situation was so bad they had to let some of their veteran defensive players go. So this is basically a red shirt year for this team until they get their cap straight for next year. So we'll look at that. Of course, Dallas, Philadelphia, New York, Buffalo, the Saints on the hot seat. I'll put the Bears on there. Because to me, if you're going to draft Caleb Williams, you either extend Eberflus for 2 more years or you fire him before you draft Caleb Williams. Just off the GP, that should have been the move. Antonio Pierce to me is on the hot seat also. I think Antonio Pierce is on the hot seat. Your decision of signing Gardner Minshew is not working. You already benched him for Aiden O'Connell, which to me lets me know you should have just started Aiden O'Connell and not signed Gardner Minshew.
I still think the message is still there in Las Vegas. One thing I liked about Pierce is that when he got the interim tag, he pushed those guys, and they actually had a decent last little bit of the year. Even though they didn't win a lot, I think that's a little premature, but I think they're gonna be good. I think they're really gonna be good in Las Vegas once he gets the people more receptive to his message.
I'm gonna give 2 more teams, then we're gonna get to Jalen Daniels before we go. 2 more teams where those coaches are on the hot seat. Mike gonna fall out his chair when I say these two teams: Baltimore and Cleveland.
I can see Cleveland before I can see Baltimore. I see Cleveland before I see Baltimore.
I can't give you Baltimore.
I
But you've been mentioning Baltimore though, so this ain't nothing new.
No, because think about it. He has 1 playoff win in the last 8 years, Mike. No, he has 2. My bad. He has 2 playoff wins in the last 8 years. 2. He has many playoff wins as the Cowboys have in the last 8 years.
Yeah. At the same time though, he still a Super Bowl winning coach. How many you got in the league right now?
11 years ago.
Consistency. They stayed. They consistently good. They're consistently good. I ain't gonna say they know world beaters, but when Lamar Jackson is healthy, they're consistently good. Now, one thing that he needs is he is going to need
Devontae Adams. That's what he needs. Devontae Adams.
What he need Devontae Adams for? I mean, he a receiver, but he ain't finna. He not gonna get the ball like he was getting it in Green Bay, and he sure ain't gonna get it like was getting it in Las Vegas. He's talking about he's not even a starter team. That's just a safety valve and another scapegoat for Lamar Jackson. Jackson gonna do his thing, but is he ready? Is he ready for that type of team? A running athletic quarterback? I don't know. That could possibly help them, but I don't know.
If that's the case, then DeAndre Hopkins would be a better fit than if you're saying that.
But DeAndre Hopkins is wasting away these couple of years in Tennessee. So
keep getting them checks, D-Hop. Keep getting them checks. But D-Hop will be a great fit in Kansas City, but Kansas City just couldn't make the money work.
They might be able to do it now that Rice is down for the year. They got to figure out something.
I think the Chiefs are gonna be fine. If they get DeAndre Hopkins on Amari Cooper for a 3rd or 4th pick, something like that.
Yeah, those are good players, really, really good players. that would add to that team and give Patty Homeboy somebody else to throw to that actually, you know what I mean, that's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
Either that or, I mean, they just keep developing. They keep developing the Worthy kid. The Worthy kid is ungodly speak. Takes the cap off the defense like nobody else, but he got to have somebody else underneath it. So I saw a couple of games ago, him and Kelsey finally got their act together. So I don't know. If you add, is it a detriment?
No, I don't think so. I think one thing that they could have made it work. Calvin Ridley. They should have went harder after Calvin Ridley this offseason. If you gave $11 million to Marquise Brown, you could get that same $11 million to Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a route runner extraordinaire. He just like to gamble. That's all.
I like to gamble.
Yeah, but you don't play for an NFL team though. So
I do.
All right, last one, guy. Before we go, I want to touch on Jaden Daniels. Is he your top MVP candidate right now, Mike?
No, man. No, he had a good opening. Let's see what he does Sunday against Baltimore. Redskins go over the bridge and go play Baltimore. Let's see what he does against Baltimore Sunday.
Right now, he's the rookie of the year, though. Right now,
yeah. He's the rookie of the year. Now, Caleb Williams has been playing better.
Yeah, he's been getting incrementally better. He's seen the field better. The speed of the game he's getting adjusted to. I think the Bears got a great one. He just need to get that. He need to get some reality knocked into his ass. Because you can't do the same things you're doing at USC and Oklahoma. These guys are just as fast, just as smart.
Right, and we'll put your ass in the ground.
And folks don't realize this. These men are paying for private schools, mortgages, their wife's Louis Vuitton bags.
The ex-wife. Don't forget about the
ex-wife.
The ex-wife.
or if you're Tyreek Hill, you got 10 children. That's why he need to rearrange that contract so he has more money up front.
That's why he's so damn fast. He practiced running. Can't keep running away.
Far side.
Yeah, he fast. He be fast. That's why you got 10 kids. Him and Nick Cannon battling. All right. Before we go, what does a car that's backing out and Nick Cannon have in common?
What?
Yeah, just take a guess.
What does what say it again?
What does Nick Cannon and a car backing out have in common?
Man, I with you, I wouldn't even know. I have no clue.
I have no clue.
Y'all not gonna take a guess?
Nope. Hell no.
You just want the answer?
Yep.
And a car backing out have in common is they pull out too slow.
I'm out, Ryan. Ryan, I'm gone. I'm gone on that, Ryan. Ryan, I'm out, man. But bro, I'm out. Stop laughing at Ryan. Do not feed into that foolery, man.
Everybody on the train.
Don't feed into it, Ryan.
I'm jamming. All those that going for Valley Homecoming, enjoy it. I'll see y'all next year. We out.